Still seeing offline.
Yep.
Yeah, well, he hasn't done it
I haven't
yet.
done it yet.
It's still
Calm
saying
down.
offline.
All
Ah.
right.
Oh, oh, oh,
Welcome
oh.
back, everyone, or welcome for the first time to Way of the Dice. Oh, we've
Yes.
done it.
Woo!
We have upgraded our game just a little from our little from our digital living room to a more professional feel. But yes, Way of the Dice is us, and we are a Pathfinder 2E um, homebrew type adventure session group of folks that just want to have fun. So in this homebrew, we our primary protagonist is a malevolent cult, and they are actually trying to bring these eldritch horrors over into our world. Now we don't want that to happen because they want to destroy everything. Um, and there's some other things going on, little minor things you'll hear us talking about as we go. One of the big ones is that there is currently a plague going through through the realm. This was sent by the gods, um, because the plague actually infects you and, in a way, converts you to some little bit of demonicness to you. Because demons and Quel'Tha don't go together. They actually hate each other. So that's the only the,
Very much so.
so that's the only way the gods have been able to slow this down. So what we're racing to get are these fragments of these elemental titans from the beginning of creation. So these shards are what we're hunting. Oh my goodness, the title! I just got it, guys. It's section 74. Okay, I don't know who I am. I apologize if I look like I'm in pain at any point in time, but I'm going to turn it over to Nadet this time for a recap of last session.
So there's this giant land zit. It's about to blow up and lava all over the place. And so we're running away from that, getting out of there, and all that. Get to safety, and we did some shopping. That's the about the sweet, short, and to the point of what we did last week. Um, Anybody else? Anything more important that I missed?
The zit did blow.
Yep.
We watched that. It was very exciting.
Oh, this is still
I
as
think I
painful.
think I think Nadep forgot because he was watching the zit blow up, and
Mm.
it was yeah, he didn't say anything for at least a few days.
Welcome to our homebrew. Why
Welcome.
did
Hope
everyone
you
just
guys
click off? Oh my goodness.
hope you enjoy it as much as we do.
Yeah, again, we're just goofing off for the most part. Enjoy some
On with the
family
story.
fun. Yes. GM, take it away, please.
Please, God, take it away.
Help,
Considering
we're dying over here.
the fact we have now traveled into the free lands of the north above the northern kingdom, we've made it to the city of Norland, which is one of the freeholds. Uh, Norland is not walled in, like because not all the cities to the north are walled in, but they are not being totally friendly with everyone coming into town because there is this plague going around. So we have gone along the outskirts of the town because we were sent to the Lond Military Academy to attempt to find a person that has been missing and is one of our benefactors' friends. And in fact, he's important because he's supposed to be bringing troops down to the south to fight said cult. And now we have made it to the entryway of the Lond Military Academy, and we are going to begin. Okay, now we are all sitting outside of the Lond Military Academy. We've gone around the outskirts of the town, and on your way around, you notice this buildings on the most outer portion. A lot of them have appeared the appearance of rundown slash vacant. And you make it to the entrance to Lond, and you notice that there is a couple of guards stationed at the entryway. But the thing you notice most about them is about there's like six guards there. Two of them look like adults, but from their mannerisms and movement, you do not think they're adults. and 4 of them quite obviously are children with armaments.
To take a closer look at the adultish looking ones and make sure they're not like two kids in a trench coat.
All right, make a perception check. And if anyone didn't notice, I put all your icons up in the top corner of the map so that you don't have to go to a different map to make rolls here.
Ding.
I'm going to start trying to do this for every map so that we have the option to click and do things a little easier.
Sounds great. I like the idea.
All right. You look at them, and the only thing you can tell, you're not an expert on humans after all, but you don't think the guard on the left, who is helping the younger guards, has ever had to shave a day in his life. But he does look like an ordinary human. Your guess is he's probably in his 16s, maybe 17s. But he's got a real baby face.
I'm gonna lean over to Atala and say, I'm not too familiar with the human growth cycle, but isn't that one of those baby humans still over there? He hasn't even gotten his beard yet.
I guess so. They don't seem to be halfling. But they
Don't
do
forget, you're
seem to
not
be
just a short
smaller.
human.
Nadet, why do you ask Hatala? Core's human.
He thought I was a short human.
Oh,
As you're looking at the gate, you do notice that the walls are standard palisade style, where it's just the giant wooden posts in the ground. But every so often, there are torches and braziers on them, and you can tell from the sound of it that people are walking on the inside of the walls too. And in fact, everyone just suddenly hears the sound of clashing arms. And Core, you're pretty certain it's the sound of multiple longswords clashing.
Does it sound like
Longsword on shield, longsword on sword.
it sound like it's coming from? So we're outside the wall of this, right?
Correct.
Did-
Y'all are approaching the gate to launch.
Does that sound like training or an attack?
that's exactly what I was thinking. Are we hearing screams of agony?
Well, it is an
That would-
academy. What do the guards look like they're doing?
They're just sitting there. The youngest of the guards is occasionally looking like he's staring at the ground, like he's trying to find something to follow. And the eldest is making sure the young ones is not doing anything stupid from the looks of it. And the younger one, that the one that Neetup noticed, is just standing at attention, as painfully stiff as he can, like he's trying to be serious. But your guess, based on their not reacting at all, this is an ordinary sound.
Yes. Just relay that info. All right. Let's go on up to the guards. Was it morning?
Oh, and just a reminder, in case everyone's already forgotten, you're here looking for a man named Reuben Lufkin. That is Eric's associate here at the school. He is actually one of the teachers of armed combat, and his plan was to take a cadre of cadets down to the south with full gear and join the offensive against the cultists.
Okay.
What if he already left and these are just the young ones left behind?
Well, he should have been able to reach him by message, by the message ritual.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll find out as we get closer and talk.
Yes, the only thing you do know is Eric said he has lost contact with him about 2 weeks ago.
Okay. We'll go up to the guards and be like, "Good morning.
Right before you get there, the youngest guard notices you, tries to snap to attention, and hits himself in the head with his pole that he's carrying, and kind of rattles for a second, and then the others are laughing, and one of them has to turn around, and you can see he's full out trying not to cry laughing.
At ease, soldier. At ease. I was wondering if you could answer some questions for me.
The oldest is like, state your business.
I'm looking for Reuben Lufkin.
Reuben,
Yes.
Professor Lufkin,
Professor.
you haven't heard?
No.
Oh. I can't let you in. We
Hmm.
are closed.
Can you open?
No, we are closed. Official orders.
From who, sir?
The superintendent.
And where's the superintendent?
I'm assuming in his office.
Can I talk to your manager? I feel like this is where it's going.
All right,
No,
Karen.
is the professor available, or can I talk to the superintendent?
Um, hold on. Jeremy, go get the super. He's like, all right, and runs off. One of the younger kids just drops his spear to the ground and runs.
Wait, you're
And you see
supposed to
he's holding
take
his.
this spear. You're supposed to take it with you.
As you see him running, you notice that he's holding his pants because it doesn't look like he has pants that fit him.
So I've noticed you have a lot of. Is this part of your training?
Yes, the first years have to start doing guard duty as soon as they've learned to hold their arms.
Oh,
Well,
interesting.
Sort of
he is
conditioning.
he did not hold his. His is lying right there. So
He's only been here for about 6 months. He came right before the winter started, so he's had the worst training we've had yet.
Hmm.
Is there
I
trouble with the rest of the older folk here?
I'm not at liberty to say.
I don't think you need to be. There's clear indications.
I'm not even supposed to talk as much as I have, but I don't know what to do, so I'm going to wait for the super to get here.
I'd only say that that's part of the problem.
Alright. We heard this.
A few minutes later, you see the one kid running back as fast as he can, and you can see he's got a very red tinge to his face as he runs up, picks up his spear, and stands in position, and he looks scared.
Again.
are you all right there?
Sir, yes, sir.
I,
Okay. A lot
Is
of
the s-
enthusiasm. I love it. I
is
love
the
the
super
enthusiasm.
coming?
A few minutes later, you see a woman approaching.
Alright. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning. What's your business here?
We're looking for Rudin. Professor Lufin? Luden? Rubin.
Are you sure that's who you're looking for?
Yes,
The only
we
name
were
we
we were
know.
asked to come talk with him. Um,
By who?
Eric.
Eric?
Yes.
High hand.
Eric
That's
who?
the Eric we know. What's
I
his last
figured
name?
no one would remember his name.
no, he
Let's
was he
see.
was Professor Rubin should have been bringing a cadre of south to help out. But we've lost contact with him. We're wondering what happened.
I'll give you a second because I know Derek's going to pull it out. Hatala will remember Eric.
The light tower or light? No.
I,
I'm pretty sure it begins with a D. It's going to
I
be from the first
if
notes.
if I well see first notes is diary.
Oh, yeah.
So I did not take notes like I take notes now.
Way to go, Session 1.
Put it on paper somewhere, but you say his last name. I have forgotten it off the top of my head, too, which is really sad because I just write Eric now.
I'm sorry, the Eric, I believe is this is the name.
Oh, you know Eric and his school from the South.
Yes, yes. We've been
Are
working.
y'all students?
Yeah, we recently gave him a lot of supplies, actually.
No, a card. You are one of his students.
Oh yes, I don't remember his last name
He's
either.
lost.
I just call him Sir.
I just call him the Eric.
Yes, the one and only Eric.
Okay. And she's like, Eddie's men. And they step back and say, come this way. We'll go to my office.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wow, it's been a long few weeks. I completely forgot about that.
Very good.
Yes, Eric introduced you to everyone
Yes.
else.
Yeah.
And young man, don't lock your knees. You'll pass out. You can't be rigid the whole time.
He's like, "So yes, sir."
Then he passes out.
And the next time, hold on to your spear. It's between you and life and death.
Y'all give them a break. They're still
No, this
trying to
is
figure this
learning.
out.
The lady kind of just as they walk, she leads you back to the office. By the way, my name is Afia Juris.
Thank you for inviting us in.
Yes, I don't really want to say too much until we are inside.
Do you have problem with spies?
No, we just don't want to spread too much misinformation.
Hmm. They have a way of growing their own legs.
Yes. Anyways, and she takes you into the main building here. It'll hang there.
Has anybody
And once
mentioned
inside the
women?
main building, she takes you into a large office, and the office is the best description would be at one time this was an office of someone who did a lot of hunting, but you notice that the hunting trophies are sit in disuse, and now it's got a bit more of a feminine touch to it. All right. Sorry, and she sits at her desk. As I said, my name is Afia Garris, and I am the current superintendent at Lond. Uh, we lost our previous superintendent about 2 years ago, so I have been working hard to keep the school running. Uh, he was my father, so I've learned everything I could from him and make sure we keep the best teachers, but I really don't know what to say. All I know is that Lufkin went looking for some of his recruits about 2 weeks ago and never came back. And the A squad went looking for him, and none of them came back either.
We'd heard something similar, as we
In
mentioned,
all, we've got about 20 students missing.
20 students. Where did they go missing?
We don't know. That's the thing we can't even understand. There's no accounts of them leaving school grounds.
Hmm.
But
Wait,
this winter has been harsh. We've also lost quite a few students to the sickness going around.
are you saying that Lufkin never left and disappeared, or that he did leave and disappeared?
He left his class, went looking for a student, and never to return to class again. And later on, his primary squad A, which was his newest batch of graduates, they went looking for him, and none of them came back either. We think they left, but we don't know how or where. Even with the snows, there was no track of them leaving. Now, most of them are trained not to leave a trace. They are the best students we've had, and Lufkin was really proud of them, and he was planning to take them down to the Southern Academy for some extended training.
Were there mages among their rank that could send messages of sort?
Uh, Lufkin had a friend in the Mage Home who could do that, but not here. Oh wait, you're not from here, are you?
No.
Uh,
Mage Home is a district in Norland. It's where most of the magic users in town live. They seem to keep to themselves because a lot of the other folk here are superstitious.
the friend he had was with him when he
No,
disappeared?
he's in
So his
town,
so his
supposedly.
friend is someone we could speak to.
I would assume so, but I have not had contact with him either.
Hmm. Interesting. Would you be okay if we would to investigate? We would like to find him and the students as
Um,
well.
have you had the sickness?
No.
No.
There are some here with it,
Hmm.
so you will need to be careful. But thankfully, we've had no one actually die of the sickness yet. We've just
That's
had
good.
several go down, and
Yes.
currently
They're down with
She
the
starts
sickness.
looking at a piece of paper. Ha ha ha. She starts looking at a piece of paper. We've got about 30 or so currently with a mild version of it.
Have you been
I
able
haven't
to?
had any of the more extreme cases that
Mm.
they've had in town. This winter has been very harsh. A lot of families have died off because of this.
Yeah, I think you got some factors where that should be changing with the I think should be warming back up now. Maybe spring coming. Maybe the volcano in the south might be heating things up. You know, you shouldn't be too bad anymore.
Volcano in the south?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that.
Not our fault, but the the you know the old Desert of Warm area.
Yes, I've
That
heard of it.
that's no longer a
Or
desert. It's a volcano.
yeah, or either
Oh,
further back, Kingdom of Orm. Yeah, that's no longer there either.
Hmm. Hmm.
wow.
Well, it was invisible, so for a while.
That's impressive.
Well, there was lore around it, so I'm assuming
Well,
that they would.
anyways, I don't know where you'll want to go. She calls out, and one of the students comes in,
Okay, do you have?
and she's like, "You there? Take these people, escort them around as they need."
I
Okay.
do have a question though.
Yes.
If
Yes,
I understand they were trained in an ability to keep their tracks covered and things, but would they normally leave in a way to not have their tracks covered if they had a normal mission, or is this
I do not
different?
know. Again, they were his hand-picked
Hmm.
premier class, and they did a lot of things strange that no one else did. He did a lot of extra special training for them.
Thank you.
I even hear that some of them went to train out of the walls on occasion, and they got out without us ever knowing. I think he may have challenged them to do that.
Just some more follow-up questions. Did any of them have any dealings with the supernatural, where they may have gone to or some kind of ghost realm, or maybe some other plane shifting, or teleportation, or blinking, any or shadow
Shadow
No, man,
realm,
Realm,
not that
you
group.
anything
know,
like that?
Pretty much anyone with magical aptitude ends up going to
Hmm.
Mage Home and trying to find a master to teach them.
I did have one other question. Do you have the ones that are infected quarantined in a certain building?
They're in the infirmary.
Infirmary. Thank you.
I have a question on that as well. Have you been able to essentially cure anybody of this
No, it just
disease?
has to run its course. You basically, from what we've seen in town, there's two versions of it. Well, maybe three versions, according to some of the rumors. One version, you get sick, everything feels bad, and then you wake up and you're fine. The next version, you get sick, you get really sick, and you might die. And then the final version, which is only in rumors, you get sick, but you start getting better, but you start looking like a monster.
That kind of falls in line with the things that we've seen as well.
But we've seen no proof of that one. It's only been in rumor. Although that may explain why some of the outside households have gone empty, that someone with that kind of affliction didn't want to be a burden on the society and left town.
What an outstanding citizen.
Oh, I believe Squad B. Let's see. She starts looking through some paperwork. No, Squad C has someone who is in jail currently. The constables arrested him. He's the only one that has done anything that we know of nefarious. And Squad C was scheduled to graduate soon. They were hoping to go south with the others eventually.
Hmm.
Where
Where's
did
the
he?
rest of Squad C? They're the ones that are missing.
No, no one's gone missing in C, but there's a bunch sick, and two of them, oh yes, two of them died. And six of them actually dropped out. They left the academy.
Wow.
Are the
So
squads based on their abilities, or
Mostly it's year. Squad A graduated pretty much now. They should be graduating already. Squad B was scheduled to graduate within a few weeks. They'd caught up to Squad A. And Squad C, I guess based on their last proficiency, they're about 2 years out from graduation. But if they increased their readiness, they could graduate earlier. That's what their plan was.
Hmm.
So this squad member that's in jail, what do they do? Nefarious?
From what I understand, he was caught with the severed heads of his family.
Ah,
Apparently, he was keeping them as trophies. We've never seen anything like that. We try to screen out anyone who has proclivities for darkness, but apparently he got through.
Does
sociopaths.
well, it could be Quelith related
Hmm.
on either front.
Or he just has a lot of family trauma and just doesn't know how to deal with it.
Do you want to talk about your family?
No.
Okay.
It's been a very harsh winter. We've actually had, I believe there's been several people in town who snapped and killed their families too.
Hmm.
But
Maybe
I don't know much about that. You'd have to ask a constable.
says a demonic plague. Maybe he got a little too touched in the head.
So, Squad C, you said there were some sick ones.
Yes.
Are there ones that aren't sick still around as well?
Yes.
Is there any way we could talk to
What
them?
are the members of Squad C doing now? She starts flipping through her book. Okay, the 8 of them that are left are currently doing training with the underyears. Those are
Might,
ones who haven't grown up enough to be eligible to graduate yet.
might be good to go talk to them and see how this guy was acting
What
before.
what squad would the guards at the gate be in?
They are underlings that are preparing to be going into. The older ones are underlings that are about ready to graduate into a squad, and the young ones are just the underlings.
I I
They're
know
ranked
this
too,
is
A, B, and C. We kind of try to keep it simple.
I know this is overstepping my bounds, but it may be wise to put someone more experienced at least with them.
Well, we used to have one of the. We'd always have one or two of the full squad members there too, but we don't have any left.
Oh, this was a concern I had as we approached. Okay.
Hence why we're not allowing anyone in for the most part.
So you're missing most of your true warriors.
Yes, most of them. Over half of Squad B is missing. The 6 of them that are left, we have them currently sequestered away trying to figure out what's going on, making sure that they don't disappear too.
So what's your normal number of in a squad? 12 to 20?
It's random, but mostly we have anywhere from about 10 to 30 in a squad, and the underlings generally are 20 to 40.
Okay.
In all, we usually have about 100, 150 students here. Any more questions?
How many?
If we were to Oh, go ahead.
Uh,
Go
could
ahead.
say how many students were in? Oh, you said there were 20 students that went missing. They're not all A
No,
squad, are they?
all of A squad went missing, and half of B squad.
How many? So, how many are in a squad?
It's different for each one.
Okay. Do you have a list of names of those that are missing?
No. She gives you the list of names.
Thank you. I'll read.
There you go.
I am not giving you a sheet of names.
Charles is like, no.
That's fine. That's fine.
That that wasn't GM. That was Charles going. No, I'm not keeping up with
Yeah.
that.
There's at least 20 known missing, not counting teachers.
Okay.
um, if we were to start looking for the missing individuals, do you have a area of interest that we should address first for information or to catch up on what's going on?
What was that?
For the individuals that are missing, is there a place of interest where we can start to track down these missing individuals? Do you have
Any clues?
any clues to where to start? Basically, to gather information or to move forward, because we would like to help you with this.
You can try starting with Lufkin's office or headquarters or his home, and then you could also go to his classroom. And then once you've done some preliminaries, I wouldn't mind having you go in and interview the remaining Squad B candidates.
And then we can move on to see if they know anything. Because it's always the younger class that watches the older class.
I recommend you do not talk to the underlings. First off, most of them are children. Second off, a lot of them don't really know what's going on in the first place.
Yes, we wouldn't mess
And
with
we don't want
children.
to scare them yet.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking C would be the last place that we would look for information. I don't want to mess with the underlings as well.
Mm.
And you also may go into town to talk to the constable too.
Oh,
There is a constable's office on the way into town from this side. Many of the constables came from this school.
One last thing for me. Is there any rules or laws that we need to know before we move into the city that we might not be familiar with?
Currently, they are a lot more on alert for people acting strangely, and they are very distrusting of outsiders.
Well, I'm a half elf, so no one trusts me. I get that all the time. And we have a dwarf here, so I mean, he knows.
honestly, I'm more concerned about the property damage from the gnome. Are you particularly in
Yes.
love with your dwarves?
We probably need to start a pot of money for gold for door replacements now.
I say
I,
we
w- I want to
check
make
the
sure that I say
office.
this under my breath to Core and those very quietly. I don't want to let her know about this issue about the pot of gold for the door replacement. That is sure to
Are
happen.
you trying to set up Winky's pot of gold?
Yes. Winky, you're gonna be, yeah. Any doors you're gonna have to replace, you're replacing.
He's just gonna repair him with his forge. Sorry,
He does
Hatala.
have crafting abilities. He does, yes.
What you got, Hatala? We lost Hatala.
Um, let's go to the office.
Okay.
All right. Give me 1 second. Okay. The cadet takes you to the office and lets you in and stands outside and waits. The office is a bit of a mess. Papers are strewn everywhere. and practice weapons are on the walls and things like that, and lots of bandages and other things. But it doesn't look like there's any personal effects in the office. So what do you do now?
Can I search for any kind of writings or just notes he may have had with Eric's men or
Make perception check. Okay. You search around for about 10, 15 minutes, and you manage to find a piece of paper that does mention, it looks like it's a letter from Eric talking about the plans for the squads and how they're going to be moving to the south, and as soon as winter breaks, they'll be leaving.
okay. Nothing seems out of the ordinary, right? Everything looks like it was in its place, like he was planning on coming back. Nothing.
You can't tell if the place is a mess because someone went through it or because he's a bad note taker.
Hmm. Okay. Hmm.
I'll take a run with the magic.
Okay. You notice that there is an item in his desk that has magic.
I will go look at that.
All right. You open a drawer and there is a ring. It looks like a wedding ring.
I'm definitely not putting it on, but can I try to tell what it is?
You can make an Arcana check. You do not know exactly what it is, but you do know it is a wedding ring that has been enchanted in such a way that the spouse who has the other ring that's identical would be able to hone in on the person.
I will share that with the group.
Hmm. If it is,
Is it? Does it only work if you are the spouse?
You don't know.
Can I think about it for a minute? Or look
You
it
can,
over?
you can try to do an Arcana check to see if you can understand more about the ring.
Okay.
19. My goodness, that's a good one.
Okay, the way you understand the rings work, they work for anyone technically, but it's a special enchantment that the rings can only find. One ring finds the other ring, but only when worn, and only for the other. If the other both people have to be wearing the ring to find them. Like you can't wear one ring and the other ring not be worn and find it.
Is the ring within reach?
I would assume I'm looking at it, and I'm holding it.
That
Can
would be.
I can I
I
reach over and take it and put it on?
I'm already putting it on.
Though he probably took it off if he didn't want to be found.
Or
But
it was.
if
Probably
he
have,
didn't want to be found, but there's only one way to know
or
for sure.
he's just hasn't worn it in a long time.
It could also be his dead wife's ring, and
Which
he
is what
still
we're
wears
hoping.
his. Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping.
Or
Hey,
or
y'all.
dead spouse.
Yes, we're hoping that his wife is dead. Yep.
Jeez.
Maybe he's just planning for the future, and he's just waiting to find that special someone.
All right, am I able to get the ring on before Neetup tries to grab it?
You do get the ring on.
Do I feel
Lucky?
You do not
anything?
feel anything strange.
I let Neetup take it.
I'll put it on my pinky toe. Put my boot back on,
Oh
and
my
I'll know
gosh,
if it ever.
we're just sitting here watching him take his foot off, boot off.
But this way, if they ever put it on, I'll know immediately.
Either that, or if you like your foot gets hit the wrong way, you break your pinky toe.
Alright, I guess we're done looking at that then.
I, I'm sure Nadep would let you continue looking.
Oh,
Yeah,
are
I'm
we
not
not done?
watching him.
Like,
I'm not watching him do any of that. I'm doing something else.
did you think the ring did something else too?
Oh, it'll
You
make
want
toes explode
to? Oh,
specifically. If put on a toe, it makes it explode. I should have told you that earlier.
You
you're
can get
just
it
jealous
off
that
of
it
your
won't.
toe.
You're just jealous that it won't fit on your big old toes.
Definitely not jealous.
All right. So what do y'all do now?
Do we want to continue doing some investigation, or I'll look around to see if there's anything of interest.
Paula,
Okay.
could there be any secret places?
It could be.
All right. Nita, you do not find anything that interests you in here at all. You notice the weapons on the wall are actually low quality training things that are designed not to hurt. And you notice that there's nothing of precious materials in this room. And it looks like the office of a school teacher combined with a gym coach.
All right, I'm done. I'm gonna kind of like wander back to the hallway.
Core, what was it
There's-
you found earlier?
Um, just some discourse with Eric, his plans for going south. Uh, just general information on what he's planning on doing. Nothing that would indicate a
That
cause
there
for
would
him to
be a
go
reason for
missing
him
or
to
yeah,
secretly leave?
right, right. There was
All
no
right.
plans to disappear.
Then I want to look around and see if there's any secret areas or things like
So remember, Lufkin only went missing after the students did. Students went missing and he went looking for them.
Hmm. Do we?
yes, but he may have had information in a secret hiding place of thoughts, ideas, or something of that nature.
I wonder if they sent him on a mission over the wall and he went over the wall as well. Hmm. We didn't get the feeling that the students were
If
in class and then the students disappeared from class and he went to go look at another class and
but
he disappeared. It seemed like he
You would have to talk to one of the students to find out that.
okay.
an interesting thought here. I know he would like to speak to his mage friend, but in thinking of this, my brain brought me to this thought. Why would he go would he go somewhere and not tell his mage friend what he was doing, because that would be a smart thing to do. And the reason that this has alerted me is because we never tell Devi what we're doing. And we probably should be letting him know more often of what we're doing, so if this happened to us and they went to go talk to our mage friend, he would have information. It's just a thought.
It's a beautiful thought, Tala. If you would like to use message and do that, that's great. I have a lot of voices going on in my head at the moment.
I can add that to is Charles, would it be possible for her Hatala to do that and work on jewelry?
No.
And so she'd have to choose one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, we could also
Ritual
we're
for your entire
we're at a
mind.
we're kind of at a part where we can bounce back and forth to the tree as well. I imagine you would have stopped in and said hi when you popped over.
Right, but needs to be something that we're
Yes, I got you. I got you. Right. You guide.
Yes, sir.
Hey, where was the
You
last
gonna go to his
place?
house now?
I'm sorry?
Hmm.
classroom.
Apologize. I was wondering if you wanted to go to his house next.
Hmm.
Oh, house.
Yes.
She mentioned the classroom.
You
Would
went to
his
his office.
class would his classroom be closer, or
Well, his office, his classroom is around the corner.
Yeah, if we could go by there. Do you know the last place the professor was seen, or the roughly what time of day he was seen?
His classroom.
His classroom. Oh, yes. Then yes. Let's go to
definitely
the last
want to
place he
look
was
in there?
seen.
Okay. They take you around the corner into a classroom that has been closed up, and he opens it up and lets you in.
There's no like temporal rifts or anything in here that we need to that you know of, are there?
What?
Thank you, sir. You just wait here while we go look around. Thank you.
Oh boy, that was
And
great.
he stands to a proper attention, waiting.
Good job. Don't lock your knees. And I go in.
Okay. And you're sitting in a classroom. You're standing in a classroom that looks like there is a lectern, and on the lectern is some paperwork and a couple of practice weapons. And around the room in a semicircle are about somewhere between 12 and 16 chairs.
Guide, is this the Class A?
No, this is just one of the classrooms.
Just
We
one?
have all the kids go to different classrooms.
Okay, thank you.
When
This was the
people
teacher's classroom, Mr. Lufkin's classroom.
when people disappeared, did they disappear individually or did they disappear in groups? Or both?
From what I understand, he went to find a single person, came back, couldn't find them, and someone else had gone. And then he went looking for both of them, and then didn't come back, so the rest of the class went looking for him.
And then each one of them disappeared
Yes,
one by one, or was it ever
we don't know.
multiple at once? Okay.
No one saw them after they left here.
Did they have like a bathroom pass and they've been eating Taco Bell recently and just might not have come back yet?
Okay.
I'd like to check the
Taco Bell.
lectern if anyone would like to go with me.
All right. You find the lectern, and you see up on it a set of notes
Can read.
that apparently was the subject he was teaching that night.
Hmm. Um, yeah, I'll try to figure out what. Is it just like basic swordplay and things like that, or?
No, it is a historical breakdown of a battlefield from the Southern Kingdom.
Hmm. Core spends way more time just reading than he probably should. And he gets kind of lost.
Is don't
As
Are you the one that has warfare
Uh,
as a skill, or is that a car?
a car.
uh,
And yeah, I know a car does.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the one with warfare.
A call. This may interest you. Did you see this in the other academy?
Make a
Uh,
warfare check.
that didn't roll at all.
You
All right.
just put it down.
You you remember this battle well because it was in one of your classes when you were in military academy at your academy.
Yes, I remember this battle very well, actually.
It was a battle where a army that was way larger was defeated by a much smaller army that had slightly better skills, but mainly they used the terrain and surprise to their advantage and managed to rout the army.
They basically 300 it.
are
They
are
they
Wayne
use
we?
is
their
playing with pieces of paper in the corner of the room.
Is there any possibility that this could have to do with how people are missing? And if it
No.
is, that would be fantastical. But
A car's understanding of the story is basically it's talking about don't let the numbers on the battlefield dictate what you do when a good plan and excellent execution can get way more done than you would expect.
strategy and the element of surprise.
Oh,
Correct.
young god. Do you know? So one person went missing, and a professor came and went, and then another student went missing. Was that accurate?
Hmm.
Do you know the time frame it took for the professor to come and go the first time?
Well, he supposedly left the room and came back within 5 minutes.
Hmm. Okay. Thank you. I feel. Hmm, I feel like we need to check the bathroom, but just
Do they have a chamber of secrets in this?
they just
Oh,
so
what?
It sounds like they were seen last here, but this is not the location that they disappeared.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That would
Then
be
it,
a good.
but likely around 5 minutes from here is where they disappeared.
Well, 2.5
Or wherever
minutes.
he went to look, wherever he went to look and couldn't find them was only less than 5 minutes away.
Is Lefkin's home 5 minutes from here?
I
Anything else
believe the
of note?
main barracks is.
The main barracks. That sounds like a reasonable place to check.
Yes.
I
Are
would
the
check
students
there
all in a
first.
big dorm, or are they in a barracks, or how are the students
The upper
quartered?
squads are in the main barracks, and the lower squads are in one of two smaller buildings.
Hmm. Yes. Okay. The barracks do sound like a reasonable place to go.
All right, you want to go to the barracks? Okay.
Yes.
And he takes you out the building and around a corner, and you're at the barracks. The main barracks, right here.
And that took us around 5 minutes or shorter
It took
or
about 2 minutes to get there.
2 minutes. Okay.
You're this building here.
Okay.
So, is there a wall surrounding the school or the academy?
Palisade.
What was that?
A palisade.
Palisade.
You know, the sharpened sticks in the ground? It's a very common wall around these areas if you don't have the stone to make a nice wall.
Hmm. I saw the line and I wanted to verify what type of barricade or barrier was that line.
Um.
And as stated, there are about every 50 to 100 feet lights on the wall to light up the wall itself and make it pretty good visibility in the area right around it.
Did all of the missing students live here?
Yes.
Can you show us to their bunks?
He leads you through the building and to a room that has been locked, and he unlocks the door and lets you in.
Or do we
And it's a bunk room that can handle about 40 or 50 people.
to just start searching around, investigating?
Okay. Make your perception checks.
Come on, everyone. Hmm.
So this is like an open bay area. You can see from
Mhm.
one wall to the other. Typical barracks.
There's multiple rows of barrack bunks. Basically, it's like 10 bunks long and 5 rows of those.
Good roll, Eve.
All right. Everybody can obviously see all the bunks and see everything that's going on. Core is searching around one of the bunks near the front, and after about 5 minutes of searching, he realizes there's no sign that that bunk had been used within the last year. He is looking at an empty bunk. Everyone else is looking at bunks that have students' belongings at them. And Eve, you managed to walk around the room and count out that there was probably, let's see, between squads A, B, and C, there was a total of 52 people. But this bunk room here only had about 30 bunks in use.
That there's only 30 bunks in use now, or
Well, Eve hasn't told us about this information yet.
I will tell you about the information.
You can tell that only 30 of the bunks have what looks like belongings of someone sleeping in them, and 10 of them look like they haven't been used in a very long time.
So she
They're
was able to.
clean, but they're totally unused.
So you were able to tell there was 52 people that used to be here, and now it's down to 30.
According to the roster, there's 52 in all the three main squads.
Yeah, but just in this room, only these bunks have been used.
The 30. So that leaves 22 somewhere else.
Or 22 miss. Are they missing? Is that what we're saying?
Now, this is the bunk for the missing
Well,
people.
yeah. And these bunks haven't been used in, like, I guess a while. But they're clean.
So, out of the 30 bunks in here, did it say 10 of them are not in use, or they're all in use? There's still 10 people.
No. There's
I have
50 bunk
I
beds.
have no
Only
idea.
30 are in use.
Okay, so there's still 10 people. I got it. So this one room, big bay room, got it, has 52 bunks.
No, there are 50 bunks. There's a total of 50 beds in this room. Only 30 of them have belongings and look like
Hmm.
they've ever been used.
Where are the other 10 students that are not missing?
Well, there's 22 students who aren't accounted for, if you're counting bunk beds. 22
Yes.
people did not sleep in here.
Yes. So that means that there is another bay where they possibly were. Because these are the remaining people that are still here. 10 of them are clean but not in use, which that might be. Do you know where your squad sleep? Do you have a bed assignments?
The cadets like, what do you mean? Squads A, B, and C were all in here.
This is
Impossible.
everybody's sleeping in here.
Hmm.
Based off our perception, that's
Based off
impossible.
our perception, there was 52 people, and now there's only 30 being used, but there was 52 to begin with. There are only 30 being used now. There have been 22 people that have gone missing, and Eve was able to tell that by looking at the beds and seeing the usage.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct in all those assumptions?
You can, if you all take the time to look around the room and pay attention to it, you will all notice that there are the belongings of 30 people in this room.
So the 22 that went missing, they removed those belongings?
According to the cadet, no belongings have been removed. So either 22 people haven't been living in this room, or 22 people lived in this room and had no belongings. But it doesn't look like those beds have been used either, like they have been made up and sat there for years.
Cadet, are the
And you're
30
muted.
are the 30 bunks here that we see that have belongings? Are all these students accounted for in the school currently? They're not missing.
We're missing 20 people.
All right, so there are out of these 30 people here, 10 people are still present.
Oh, there's only 6 of them present because one's in jail
Mm,
and two of them died, and like 6 of them went home
thank you.
before the lockdown.
So it might be worth talking to the folk in jail. D Cadet,
Yes,
uh, no one slept in these empty beds. Is
what
that?
do you mean?
Well, I mean, there's these beds are no belongings. No, they're empty. But everyone slept here. I would imagine that all the beds would be in use. Where?
Well, from what I understand, there was some empty beds in the room.
Ah,
But
okay.
they didn't fill it up completely.
That's where my brain first went. I've just been completely confused since we started covering this. Okay. Um, Cadet,
Hmm.
is the student that was jailed, is he of somewhat of a sound mind, or is he kind of like raving?
From what I understand, they think he's talking crazy, but he says he's perfectly sane.
Hmm, interesting. Interesting. Okay.
We have a dwarf that thinks the same.
Hmm. Are there...
He kept muttering something about the strange lady,
Ooh, a strange lady.
Good information.
but no one believed him, especially after all the heads were found, and it was his knife used to cut them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And he was seen returning from town that night. So it was a pretty much slam dunk case. They didn't even have a trial.
Or do you know of any creature that would attack in such a way on the mind?
Um, I can attempt to rack my brain upon it.
Right? Roll your occultism.
Nope.
Hey,
What?
you are fairly certain that there are a lot of creatures capable of that, but your current fear is a creature that is basically a little brain slug that gets in people's heads and makes them do crazy things.
You ever heard of that brain slug? You ever heard of a brain slug? Anybody?
Mm-mm.
Well, yeah, there's a brain slug that it crawls in your ear while you're sleeping and it makes you do some crazy stuff. And they only found the brain slug after they actually killed the person that it was using as a host.
Hmm.
I believe this. Like when Eve came up with the bacon thing, I've trusted Eve for a long time, and that's why I went with it. But do I trust a car this much?
Make a
Hmm.
perception check.
I would hope not.
We about to find out.
We're not that good of friends yet.
Okay. You cannot tell if there's any form of deception, but you do feel that his confidence may be a little off, but you don't know why. You don't know whether
Okay.
that's he knows what he's talking about, or he's getting some fact wrong, or is he totally wrong. But something makes you think it's off.
A car. I think that we can be on the lookout for these things, but the fact that he brought up a lady, unless it makes them see things, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But
the brain slug, man, it messes with all your sensory and perceptions and stuff, you know. Like you see stuff and you hear stuff because, it's completely controlling your brain.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really looking forward to even worrying about another thing that can crawl into me.
Mm.
So
That's understandable. It's very
I
terrifying. I've been
I'm
afraid
going
of
to
it for
hope
years.
that it's actually some kind of lady thing. I
Why
think
do
I
you
can,
think
cause I
why do
can
you think
stab it.
why do you think I plug my ears when I go to sleep?
I've never seen you do that.
Is that...
Oh, well,
Would
yeah,
that work? I'm concerned with everything that's going on in my head. I don't need another thing. I Does this work? Well, this does it work with sleepwalking?
well, I don't know about that. I've never had the slug myself, but I only know the knowledge.
Mm, okay.
It
Okay.
controls your brain. So I would assume that
Do you have a slug?
even while you're asleep, if the slug wanted to make you walk, it could.
Mm. Are you slug controlled?
I don't know.
Do you know that...
Possibly.
So tell me. So you should know about your past. You should. You
The
should.
only way to find out is to kill the host.
They're deaf. Yeah. No, I
Wait,
can't.
no, I wouldn't have had the
A
slug.
car has died.
I've already died, so I don't have the slug. The
Hmm.
slug would have died the first time I died.
Yes, he was turned to paste, and he just had his heart stop.
Hmm.
Kill him
So there
again
you
just to be
go. So
sure.
no, I'm not
They had
slug
a rough
controlled.
go of it for a few bits
Anyway,
there.
But
the
you know,
strange lady.
I wouldn't, you know, knowing the knowledge of this slug, I wouldn't confidently say that I'm not controlled because I could be. But now that I know and remember that I died, then I probably would have killed the slug as well.
Okay.
Okay, then we are having a car's head checked by Debbie as soon as we get back.
Um, here, keep bacon in your pockets for now.
But I mean, if you don't believe me, I mean, I'm certain. But if you don't believe me, you can always fact check it. Does anybody have any books on occultism or anything like that?
You've been our source of this for a while now.
We're hoping you had the
just so
book.
that we're all because I see
How
the
concerned is this cadet at this point?
He's trying his best not to listen at all, but you can tell he's hearing every word. And at the same time, he's just like,
I see the concern all over your faces, and I'm reading your body language. I understand this is a thing for you, but I am absolutely certain about these slugs. But for future reference, if we were to find an occultism book to check facts, because I'm not perfect, I would feel comfortable with that.
We'll put that on your to-do list. J- do we want to go to the jail?
Yes.
No giant rips in space though here. Eve, would you mind checking for magic or the
Yeah,
possibility?
we need to make sure because this is the jail
Am I able to check?
in the.
if you have detect magic,
Do I?
I don't know, do you?
I don't think I do.
Do I?
Well, I do. I think Nita does. And we can use it without, like, dying.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like us to?
Yes, please, please. I mean, it'd probably be good for us to check all the locations we go to.
Alright.
Carl, you don't see any like ectoplasm of the lady or of the slug anywhere, right?
What is
Want,
ectoplasm?
do we want to
You
search
mean like
Luxton's
slug
home?
material?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Like slime? No, I don't see any slime.
for a second, hold on. Eve, you're doing detect magic?
Yes.
Okay. You do not detect any magic in the room, but you do detect the lingering effect of magic have been used in the room.
Something was used here.
Did you roll?
But
Can you
even
Is
if
can
you
you
focus
tell?
on it, you can't tell more because it's lingering. It happened in the past.
it's fading, so it's really hard to tell exactly what it is.
That could be the very thing that did this.
But make an Arcana check, Eve. The only thing you can tell is the magic is in the area of transmutation.
Okay.
Wait. You told us that, right?
Yes.
Have we seen any creatures, rats, any type of small
Interesting.
creatures around the area?
Not in the middle of the day, you wouldn't see anything like that running around. It's quite possible at night you might see them.
Do you need one?
No, I think we need to be very careful of the creatures around in the area. It could be the people.
Oh, interesting theory, Hatala. So they may have been changed into small animals,
I'm not sure if it's
Mm.
that or I mean transmutation can be
birds.
all kinds of things. I mean
Well,
just
we can ask the guy if
I've
there's
never heard
animals
of the
in the
slugs
room.
doing that, but it's possible.
This has, well, I don't know if this has anything to do with slugs, but
Have you guys? I'm talking to the kid. Have you guys seen any animals around in the? I feel like I've
Um,
seen tracks.
this
Anyways,
winter was really harsh, so I believe most any animals found were probably eaten.
even inside of your little.
Most likely, yeah.
is it possible that there are extra trees or any kind of other shrubberies or anything that was odd that may have appeared at a
They're
time?
potted plants.
Nothing that we would know. Nothing I've noticed.
How
The
many
the only
beds
time we deal with the outside is when we're working in the pasture. We have a farm that's part of our training.
have you noticed any new beds pop up?
No,
Okay.
this room has got all the beds for the main squads.
And this has always had this many beds in it.
Yes.
Also, whatever spell it was, if it did that, it didn't do it right away because they left. At least the teacher did. They left the room.
They left the room, they never
Ah,
came back. The teacher left the room, and they never came back. They each turned into a chicken. It's
That
off
Is
a
was
it?
tree
simple.
or a rock.
immediate.
Can we like look at the door frame, just make sure it's not some kind of portal or
Portal.
anything? Yeah.
You can make a perception check. It doesn't look like anything but an ordinary door frame.
Mm, okay. Well, I'm running on low on ideas here, folks.
Well, we can have other places to
Yeah,
search. His
we
home,
we would like to
the
check his
person
home
in
or the
jail.
jail. Those two were the person in jail really piqued my interest, but we could also check his home.
What is the easiest to get to at this from this place?
The professor's room is not far, and the jail's in town.
Then we need to let's see the places around here first, and then go to the places in town.
All right. He takes you, and it doesn't take long, but you're at the professor's room. It looks like it's part of the main building. There's a wing where the teachers have their rooms, and they're like each one is like a little house where you have the master bedroom, bathrooms, and each one has their own little tiny living room and their only tiny kitchen. But for the most part, the kitchens aren't much more than where you can heat something up. It looks like everyone's meant to eat in the main hall. But he takes you to the professor's room, and it is one of the smaller rooms that you see as they're going by. And he opens the door. All right, here's the professor's room.
You said it was just one small room, or did it have multiple rooms also?
It's a suite like all the others. It's just it's smaller than the other suites.
The depth, this one, this room over here.
Oh, it's not the closet? Thought professor of his quality would have this thing right here.
Like, can we start looking around?
Needup's looking around the room, but you notice he's not looking at anything in the room. It's like he's dazing off into the distance.
Mm.
Need up.
Nadab, are you still thinking about that volcano?
I mean, it was so cool. Like the lava just like all over the place. Like, I mean, no, I'm looking around the room. We're trying to solve this problem.
Oh, okay.
All
Because,
right,
yeah. Right now
Core.
you're spacing.
As you're looking around the room, the thing that draws your eye is mostly he has a good bit of weapon paraphernalia on the walls. It looks like he's been a soldier for a very long time. You recognize a couple standards and things like that. Look like they're trophies from battles and things like that. In fact, you recognize a couple trophy banners that are some of the independent kings from here in the north, things like that. And
They just participation trophies, or they like first, second, or third?
I don't think they do. I've never heard of a participation trophy.
Hatala, you notice that there is not much that looks like a woman's touch in this area, and it looks not as messy as his office, and not as messy as in many bachelor pads you've seen, but not still like a home with a man with a wife.
Okay.
Eve and a car. You both notice that this room does have a few woman's touches, but they're not many, and they're very somber compared to what you would expect from a woman's touches in a home, especially the wife of someone. But you also notice that the bed is not large enough for two to sleep normally. It looks like a bed for a single person, but it is obvious that it has been used for two as well as one.
It
All
appears
right.
to me that this is the professor's home away from home, and I can see
Wait.
where his wife may have visited, but I think this is his quote unquote man cave study area.
It's his home in the compound. That does make sense. Atala looks to Eve to see if she gets a nod. She gets a nod. Atala grabs the jewel on her neck and detects magic.
Okay? You do not detect any presence of active spells or anything like that. You do detect that there are several things that radiate a small amount of magic. Basically, you see some of the trophies on the wall are basically like +1 shields or +1 swords. Nothing major, nothing special. It looks like they were taken from whoever owned them in battle.
Okay, I'll let everybody know that.
Hmm.
Winky is wandering around in the room, not paying attention to anything at all, and bumps into a table, knocking a bunch of papers onto the floor.
Oh, Winky.
I wasn't even looking. Weird. I'm gonna go pick up some of those papers.
Okay. When you pick them up, you find a piece of paper that you can't read.
Court.
It's
Hey,
a handwritten piece of paper with some kind of notation system you've never seen before.
Is it a cipher? What I know about ciphers? Is it a cipher?
can
You wouldn't.
can
As
I tell?
Okay.
Can I tell?
You can
This
try.
this is this doesn't make any sense. Doesn't look like language.
um, this is
I play with
society. Is
rogues
that?
should
I
know
think
in
that.
Yes,
ciphers.
that's what we've been using to understand codes.
Yep. Oh, so close to
Okay.
20. Ugh.
You can't make anything out on it. You can tell it is definitely language, but it is in some kind of masking that you have never seen before.
Hmm. Can I gather them all up? Um, not everything that's close
There's
to.
only one note that has that,
What are
and it is hand.
can I just see
If
what the
it
other notes
is
around it are like?
language, Eve, would your ability to comprehend it work in
Mm,
this case, do you
if
think?
it's like coded, I don't think it works for that.
No, it doesn't. Her thing doesn't decode. She could understand if it was in an ordinary language.
But Core would be able to relate to us that
I,
it is a language that
I,
is coded.
it's
I'm
gonna
trying
it's
to
gonna
figure out
take me
from him.
time. I can't
Well, I know,
crack
but
it at the moment.
I'm
Yes, he
saying that
he
you would be able to detect that it is a language that is coded. Is
Yes.
that what we're saying?
You
Okay.
yeah,
detected that it
that's
definitely is not just gibberish, it's actually a language.
Um,
he,
I want to turn to Hatala and I want to ask her if she knows of any or could find any secret doors or anything that might hold a cipher. Is there
I
a way
can
that you can,
I can look for. I haven't seen any as I looked around, but I can do another search, I guess.
like a secret door or something behind a painting or
Do a thieves roll or just another perception check.
Perception check. Nah, you don't see anything here in this room that looks out of the ordinary in any way.
Not seeing anything. A car.
because I believe that if we were to find some type of a piece of equipment that might be construed as a cipher, this would probably help.
All right. What else do you do?
Did he have any other papers with ciphered one?
You do not see any of those anywhere else.
Okay.
You're holding on to that.
Yeah, I'm definitely holding on to it. I just if the cipher paper was with a stack of papers, just it was the
It
other.
was underneath some papers.
Okay. Can I just kind of read through what that stack might have been?
Most
Just
of them
randomly.
are ordinary school reports and grades and things that you would expect a teacher to have.
Okay.
Looks like something he basically piled off on top of it when moving things around.
Gotcha. Okay.
He probably had the cipher on him, or it's just innate knowledge now. I'm hoping that we could find something.
Hand the paper to Nita real quick.
All right.
Just let him look at it real quick.
Okay. Hidden it up.
What is
Let,
this?
let him hold it though.
You got it.
Can he read it?
No.
Just was hoping maybe that ring did something, but
Right. If we're not finding anything else here, do we need to keep moving?
um,
Could,
Should we try his home?
this is
It's
this is his home in the base, so maybe. We may. There's the remaining Squad B members that would probably be here that we could speak with. Then there's the constable
mhm.
and the mage friend and the person who is in jail.
yeah, say
Yes.
work our
The
way
next
out.
place that I would look for the cipher would be his home, but yes, on our way. Let's do that.
Um, we could also send a message to Eric and see if this was the cipher from them.
We've got a letter from Eric, and it wasn't in cipher.
Oh, okay.
This could be from his
You
secret lover.
It could be, and that lover could be like a giant black dragon that, and it's coming to
Okay,
find us now, or Nadep
if
specifically.
I
if
didn't think of
his
that option.
secret lover was meeting in this room. You know
We
what?
should talk to Athea.
I'm ready to
We
move
need to
on.
look for the secret tunnel.
I want to do a memory check to see if Eric
Wait,
ever used anything that might possibly be a cipher for coding
Okay?
messages.
Just make a D20 check.
I thought you were about to say I want to do a memory check to see if I have any memories. I thought you were still hung up on that slug.
you
No,
you
no, no.
don't. You don't exist. You
Okay?
are.
Your best knowledge, he has used ciphers before, but they're simple ciphers that have been used on the battlefield for years. Things
Okay.
that you guess Core would understand.
Okay. Just yeah, that was so we can cover because since I spent time with Eric before, possibly. Okay. Yeah, we wanted to
Alright.
cover that.
Winky, your hammer's not pointing to any secret doors yet, correct?
Point. Winky, if there were any secret doors,
Do
you
you
would
feel your
know.
hammer sense?
Is it
Use
tingling?
your winky tingle.
No, he
I'm
does
gonna
not have
use.
any hammer tingle.
Winky tingle.
No.
No, hammer sense.
It's definitely hammer sense. There
You were
any
not
of
here.
the
You were not here when it was named.
That's why it sucks. It needs to be winky tingle.
Wake a
are there
tango.
any of the remaining Squad B members that we could speak to before we leave
Um,
the academy?
you asking the cadet?
Who? What?
Yes.
Are you asking the cadet?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, they're over here in holding.
Would like to speak with them.
Are they in quarantine or you're just holding them to make sure they don't disappear?
Yes, we're just holding them to make sure they don't disappear.
On the two that died, do you know the cause of death? Was it the plague? Was it
Those were Squad C.
okay?
Squad
Half
C,
of
yes,
Squad B has disappeared. The
correct.
other half has not, and there's nothing that we know
Yeah.
of that's happened to them.
Although two of them are in the infirmary because they're sick.
I could go talk to them. They let me in.
I have a quick question, Cadet.
Yes.
Why was the barracks locked?
Because we wanted to preserve the evidence.
Where's
So
everyone sleeping?
nobody has used the barracks
Since
since,
no one.
and nobody has disappeared since.
Correct.
Do you have any description of that strange lady?
No one does. It's all in his head as far as we're concerned.
Okay. Okay. Well,
That's just what he was babbling about when he was found with blood on his hands.
got you. I forgot that was the jailed guy.
All right, the six last members of Squad B that aren't sick are over here, and he takes you to a room that's locked, and you see there are two more younger cadets guarding it. And the younger cadets are like, "Yes, sir," but it's obvious they're nervous about it because they're not experts or anything. But they were actually holding their stances fairly well as guards. They were technically proficient for being unexperienced. And the cadet brings you inside, and it's a basically it looks like a mini barracks. There's about 12 beds in here. They're not bunk style, they're just 12 beds. And you see the six people are spread out because it looks like even they are not wanting to talk to each other. And
Do
the
we
one in
want?
the bed that's closest, you hear him snarl something slightly insulting to a name, but then he looks over and sees that it's not that person, and he stands up real quick.
As we walk in, and I see this, I want to yell attention. Being
And
somebody with this kind of training, to get
five
them
of
to.
them pop up instantly and stand at attention, while the sixth one kind of looks at you, snorts, and then stands up.
I want to address that one and
A car. We are dealing with people who are having some kind of adverse effects from something else.
yes, and this is the one that is not acting as a cadet should.
But if you go,
I want
okay,
to communicate with this one first. I want to see if it's true deceit or if it's the possibility of the situation has worn on his psyche.
At this point, he is standing at attention, but his attention is on the cadet, not on you.
I want to address him as like, Do you know who I am?
No one.
I have been through your training and I am your superior.
You're no one.
Why do you say these things?
You have no rank insignia, no armor of adjournment. You're no one. No one here.
Agreed, but I have also been to the same training you have.
Yeah, and if some random bloke showed up and tried to tell you what to do, and you're in a bad mood, you wouldn't listen either.
Obvious. Why are you in such a bad mood?
I've
This
been
is what
stuck
we're
in this
here.
room for 2 weeks.
Agreed. That's why we're trying to figure out the
And he
situation.
points over to a pot in the corner without even a thing covering it. And all 6 of us have been using that pot over there while each of us watch. That's fun.
I will have that addressed as soon as we leave, but we need information on your missing cadets. We're here to help. So if you
Oh.
could lose the attitude, it would be greatly appreciated.
He turns to one of the other cadets and goes, "Didn't you hear that, Jimmy? The elfling here says he's going to help us."
Oh, I remember those days. But I've been through war. I've seen death. You guys are only learning. You will learn. You will see. It does not
Says the
make
man
you who
who was
you are.
longer than I was alive.
Your blood does not make you who you are. It's the blood that you spill for your comrades who makes you who you are. Remember that.
You can tell he does not have any respect for you at all, and it seems to be stemming from you're mostly an elf.
Is
I get that now.
watching this occur, we're noticing anybody who seems to have an appearance or like they'd be more willing to talk, kind of thing. Somebody who just seems like
Make a perception check. All right. Hatala, who's the one who's asking and looks around, you notice that all of them seem, these are in the candidates who are about to graduate. All of them seems a good bit unstable in your opinion, and they do not look like you would expect a professional soldier to be. That's the thing you notice the most. Needip, you just happened to look up and finally look into the room for the first time since you've been staring off into nothingness most of the time in this room. And
Classic need up.
you noticed one of the young cadets looks like he is soaked through with sweat. But no one else in the room shows any sign of sweating.
I'm gonna just walk right up to him, get like half an inch away from his face, say, "You aren't nervous, are you?"
And he looks at you cold, calm, and basically with eyes that your guess is he's seen a lot of death for his age. Nervous? Not a bit.
Hmm. I just take my finger and like wipe the sweat off his brow and go, "That's interesting."
And he kind of looks disgusted that you touched him.
Yeah, I didn't like touching you either, but you're lying to me. What's up?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not nervous about anything. I hate being in this room. That sucks. Haven't had a good night's sleep in 2 weeks.
Bad dreams.
Sometimes.
you know what I'm finding interesting at this point in time with all of what I'm seeing around here. All of your comrades who are of worth have gone and disappeared. Those of you left are the riffraff. Am I right? Those of you
Losers.
left are those who didn't step up to the plate.
The
Why do you
cadet
think they're here?
looks at you and is like, no, no, no. 3 of them in here were the top of the class.
Obviously not.
They were actually the head of their class. The unit commander, the unit second, and his lieutenant.
What is making each of you now stand here and look appalled at what you are then?
And no one seems to want to look at you.
Something has changed you.
We
You
encase
notice
them.
most of the beds have been made nicely, but 2 of the beds are in shambles. Probably because they were laying in them when you came in. But the 2 that are in shambles, you can tell that they've been sweated through in their sheets.
We are here to help you and your comrades. We want to help you and save your friends. If you saw anything, please tell us so we can help.
One of the kids looks around and he's like, "It's not that we saw anything. It's like there's this person chasing us in our dreams, and we can't run away no matter what."
Only while you sleep?
Yes.
So you're not sleeping, are you?
Not if we can help it.
That's what making you look like you're ragged now.
Oh, they're having a
And one of
full-on
them's like,
conversation.
"Shut up!"
Is it a lady that's chasing you?
And one guy actually smiles really heavily. He's like, "Oh yeah, she is." And the other guy's like,
Who's
"No!"
that lady?
And then the one kid in the corner looks like he's about to cry a little bit. It's like, "No, it's not a lady. I'm being chased by a chair. And I don't know why. I'm not afraid of chairs, but there's a chair that chases me every night in my dreams."
Do they ever catch you in your dreams?
No, I've been able to outrun it.
All
Is that true for all of you?
Yes.
Have they all been objects, or were they the lady?
No. Everyone's seen something different.
We were just
Right.
at the barracks where you had previously slept, and we'd found some transmutation magic.
while this is happening, can I get to something where I can try and put that rune of dreams above this? Is there any way I could possibly do
You do
that?
not have the ability to etch it currently.
I am now upset that I cannot do that. That's what I'm doing right now.
um, the uh, the cadet that
One
I
second,
walked up to.
1 second, real quick, Akar. In order to etch that rune, you would have to spend at least a few days studying rune etchings because you've never done one before. Because basically, it's performing a ritual that becomes a permanent ritual. And it will
Okay.
take materials to actually do it every time you do it. Kind of like doing your message spell, but it's something that you can basically, you know the rune, but you don't know the ritual to make it active. All right, Akar.
So
Sorry.
the cadet that I'm standing in front of as we're talking, the one that was disrespectful, for lack of a better word.
Yes.
I want to walk up to him and I want to soften my eyes and I want to give him a hug. And I want to
He seems supremely creeped out by it.
talk into his ears like we all go through things on the battlefield, but you as cadets are going through something before the battlefield. I understand. And then I want to step away and just, not be as opposing or
He doesn't look
ominous.
disgusted anymore. He looks basically terrified. Like he has no idea how to respond whatsoever. Like the little bit of his brain that was still working just went.
I'm gonna let him deal with that thought. Hopefully, he has the mental capacity to be able to work through that. But in this stressful time, I wanted to show him that he's not alone. It was what was my intent.
Okay, what do you do now?
It's a good question.
You can still go to the jail, and you said you want to try to find the magic print.
Eve,
Mhm.
did you say something about Althea a moment ago?
Yes, I figure she would know what's going on around here. So I think we could ask about uh Ruben's lover. Might even be her, but we don't know.
Who are you going to ask about what?
She wants to ask Althea about who the professor's lover may have been.
He's
As we're doing that, I want to ask the cadet that has been bringing us around. Are you having troubling dreams?
No?
And also, Cadet, can we just ensure they've got several books to be reading through in that room? Something
And
has to do.
somebody obviously needs to
They
clean
have their
out
schoolwork to do
Oh,
still.
good, good, good.
their
And
chamber pot
yeah,
needs to be cleaned.
Yes, they need better living conditions. If there are guards available to take them to a proper latrine, that would be sufficient.
You'll have to talk to the superintendent.
Well, we are
Absolutely.
heading to her, so
Yes.
Okay. So you head to the superintendent? All right, you find her at her office working on paperwork. How goes the search?
this.
We've cracked the case. No,
no,
I'm
to
kidding.
keep
We're still
things
working.
first thing I think I'd like to know is, are your dreams, do you have any troubling dreams recently?
Not to my recollection.
It seems those that are affected are having some kind of troubling dreams. It is one clue that we have garnered from our conversation.
Hmm. I mean, it's fairly common for the first years to have bad dreams and things like that, because not everyone who comes here comes from a good home.
But I would expect a dream of something chasing you not to be the common dream that occurs.
Yes, and
Hmm.
this is not a common dream. From my understanding is that it's essentially the same dream over and over.
Hmm. I don't know. I've never heard of anything like that.
Accommodating your squads may be a good way to help them out at least a little bit. Their chamber pots need to be changed out, and maybe some way to get cleaner or things of that nature. They seem to be in disrepair and not as professional as I think they once were.
Hmm. We'll see what we can do now that we've gotten things. Now that winter's broken, looks like we're going to have more people free to do other things.
Ma'am, speaking from experience, they seem to be having battlefield condition, you know, problems with their mental capacities. And they're going through the same problems that someone on the battlefield would go through, and that's traumatizing at this age. It's also good training, however, you have to have some type of balance. And
I
I
mean,
think,
Class A already went through what we call Hell Week.
but this is Class B
Discussed
we're
that.
talking about.
Yeah, Class
As
B, they were probably going to be doing that in another week.
yes, and I think their conditions at this point in time are close to Hell Week, ma'am.
Hmm.
I can see that they aren't dealing with this very well at the moment,
I'll see what we can do about that.
and that might help relieve more answers if you were to take away some of the burdens that they have to deal with.
I'll see what I can do.
Another subject completely different.
Yes.
Trying to find Professor Rubin. Did he ever have anyone visit him, like a woman?
His wife would come down occasionally.
His wife's name? Do you know it?
I do not know. I've just always known her as Mistress Lufkin.
All right. And she would visit. That's the only place.
She's up at the Temple of Beth. She's one of the Battle Sisters.
At the monastery.
Yes.
Does she wear a ring commonly?
I believe both of them did.
And she is well?
I do not know. I have not seen her since I haven't seen him.
So that's the place we need to go to.
She would only show up about once every couple of weeks anyway, especially in this winter. During the summer months, she would be here at least once a week.
Does she know her husband has? Did you notify
I
her?
do not know. We have not had any contact with the temple. This winter was really harsh. We did not want to send anyone up there.
Right.
So you say, how often has she come down during the winter?
Once every couple of weeks during the winter. It's not very often because it's a very dangerous trek, but she's one of the few that would be able to make the trek without much problem.
And you say she hasn't been here in more than her occasional time, correct?
I don't remember the last time she was here, but she doesn't oftentimes come through the central office. Usually she'll go
Ah,
straight to his quarters if she's here. So she could have come through more recently, but I have not seen her since he disappeared.
okay. Because I was trying to make a connection with his disappearance and her visitation, but she hasn't come to you asking about him,
No,
which
I have not heard from her.
I would assume that she possibly might know something.
Then again, we're not
What happened?
exactly on speaking terms. She's a bit curt.
It has been a harsh winter as well.
Yes. And
Okay,
many have died this winter, just from the conditions alone,
agreeable,
on the
agreeable.
disease.
But I would think that if she kept a regular schedule or semi-regular schedule, then she would have been through since he has disappeared, and that's what.
And again, I do not know because again, most of the time, she we've actually caught her coming in without even being known by the guards.
So she
Ah,
knew something as well
so
on how
she.
to get in.
Mm, yes.
Which direction would you say the Temple of Beth is from here?
Down the road, you see it on the
Needip,
map.
Needip, do you have any feelings of that direction?
Close my eyes and focus and wait for the GM to answer.
You do not feel anything.
Nope. No feel anything.
Okay.
Are you sure? Try one more time.
I do have two notes I'd like to, not necessarily with Althea, but just in general for us. Oh, I would like to go back to the dorm room. I don't know that did we search through all the packs now that we know there's potential dream involvement. Maybe there's some um, token or item or maybe something under the beds that's been placed in the room. But just maybe worth looking around one more time, and then also just trying to, you know, go through the walls and see if there's uh, any places that look like you could sneak in and out of, or have seen use that shouldn't be.
Okay. So you want to go back to the dorm room first?
Sure.
Return to the scene of the crime.
Okay. So you head back to the dorm room, and you're back in. The cadets. This time, since y'all knew where you're going, he just followed you, and he unlocks the door again and lets you in.
Right. Right. All right. We're looking for anything that might have to do with um, uh, dreams, maybe some odd token. Is there a standard kit that the talking to the cadet? A standard kit that the recruits have, or do they're free to go to town and give whatever they want?
For the most part, all cadets are required to wear the uniform, although they do allow them to have downtime clothes that are usually whatever they brought from home. And they do usually have a couple changes of clothes from home in case they go to town, but for the most part, they're required to be in their uniform. And then they're allowed to have one bag with personal possessions of their choice.
Right. Like to
And basically, he shows you that there's a foot locker that's supposed to have two bags in each foot locker.
or they're not locked up.
No,
Okay. Like
there's no provision for a lock.
yes. Just I guess I'm just gonna go through all the stuff. Just looking for anything.
All right. Make a perception check. Anyone who wants to search.
Hmm. Here we go. Search and stuff.
Ah.
Core got stuck in
Yeah.
the zipper.
Need it. A car.
Come on, someone come through.
Balls.
That's all.
Looking for something above a 5, folks. Come on.
The
Eve's
two
not
people
here.
that are missing.
Hey, the 2 extra dice rollers. Y'all roll something.
Please,
What?
please do something good. Winky.
Oh, I'll take 'em.
Winky, roll
Steve, you
perception
need to roll a
quick.
perception check.
3. Okay.
Sorry.
Hey, Winky got perceptive.
I mean, it is better than what we rolled.
Yeah.
He finally paid attention. Gotta see if Eve's gonna get a roll in there. If she's there. Oh, there we go. 27, not too bad. All right, when looking through, Eve ends up finding a bag that has in its personal possessions a. You notice that most of the personal clothing is gone from it. Like every bag you've looked through, all of them have at least one or two outfits of personal clothing. This one has no personal clothing in their bag.
Cadet.
Then Winky found a bag that had a small knife and a few lockets of hair.
So on the one that had the missing clothes, Cadet, who was sleeping here? Was it a missing one, the jailed one?
He names the person that was the first person to go missing.
Okay. And do you know of the one over here? Do you know what's going on with his hair?
Uh, Based on the looks of it, it's very short and it's not very luxurious. Your guess is it was shaved from another cadet.
Okay. Hmm.
Do they have there been mixed sexes in this?
No, every one of them was male.
Okay.
And when you're talking about it, the cadet looks down. It's like that's the second man's bunk, the one that went missing second.
Hmm. Interesting. Can I investigate the locket, make sure to go inside, outside, any inscriptions or anything written on it? What's the color of the hair? Anything?
Is the hair of the one that went missing first?
You wouldn't be able to tell that.
I get that.
There's no locket. It's a lock of hair.
Lock of hair. That's right.
Sorry.
That's okay.
It's just the head.
But the hair, you don't see anything unique about the hair or the knife or anything else.
Okay.
But the knife is made of bone.
Bone knife. Okay. Um.
A car.
Yes, a car would
Do
be a
you
good one.
know
Can you
of
hold on?
any spells or things that would require a lock of hair that could have anything to do with this? I know of Arcana things, but this feels more occult.
I'm not quite so big on spells. I do understand
Well, occultism would
some.
allow you to check for spells, so yeah.
I
You
mean,
read about spells, you don't know anything about casting
yeah,
them.
I don't know about casting them, but I can
Make a check.
make a check. Oh, it was right there.
All
Almost a
right.
20.
You you know that there are a lot of spells that can use a personal item of someone's possessions have pretty good amounts of power and magic. And a locket of hair cut freshly from someone would be one of several ways of many spells to get power over someone.
And I'm
Whether
gonna.
that be by ritual or actual spellcraft.
There you go, guys.
Did any of the things we looked through have an extra set of personal clothes?
No, you did not find any extra. Most of the bunks have their one or two sets of personal clothes and nothing else.
The
Because you don't know how many personal items, because some of them might have been poor and not had any extra clothes, or some of them may have just only brought one or two with them. You don't know.
the first person never showed up to class, right? That's what
Correct.
prompted. Okay.
And then the professor went looking for the first person, and when he came back, the second person was gone.
Okay.
No one remembers seeing that person leave. But it was presumed he left when the professor left, or not long after.
Okay. Um, Akar, do you want to hold on to these in case they're causing the dreams? And then tomorrow, after we sleep, you can tell us if you were. Um,
Sure, let's do it.
maybe we can get you haunted and maybe start investigating.
I mean, I've only been, I was mostly dead once, so yeah. I mean, I think I would be pretty close to the other side if these
Yeah,
individuals are
it
dead.
is exactly why I gave
Okay.
it to you. Your skills.
I also have a bunch of death stones.
Not anymore, you don't.
They're
Oh
in a
yeah,
chest, Holmes.
they're in me.
All right. Do we want to start searching for secret tunnels out of this palisade? You're muted, new dip.
Yes.
I'm just singing a song.
Secret
Any
I kind
tunnel.
of forget the first part, but then it goes
You're the
secret,
ground. You're the
uh,
ground guy.
secret tunnel.
I can do engineering for a check
Can I just do
on the
Yeah.
room.
Oh, on
On
this
the
room?
room. Yeah,
Yeah,
make a check if you want.
Okay, cool.
Hang it.
I haven't gotten anything over a 3. Oh, 10.
Yay!
I got that 20, but
You do not
well,
notice anything engineering wise that makes this room seem odd to you. The only thing that you do have of note is architecture wise, it seems like the room might should be bigger or it was just poorly designed.
I'll let them know.
Should be bigger.
Winky, do you feel a door? Use your hammer sense.
Winky Tingle, go.
No, he does not feel any doors.
I'd like to see if I can. I mean, once Hatala points out that the room, she feels like the room should be bigger. I'm gonna look and see if there's any reason that might be true.
Okay, unfortunately, with it not being stonework, you won't be able to find much.
Ah,
This is a wooden building.
can I tap on the walls, listening for a hollow spot?
Well, all the walls are all the interior walls are hollow wooden walls, and all the exterior walls are mud daub and cordwood.
Do we just want to do some demolition work?
No.
Why not?
That's the
Because
equivalent of saying, I don't know where to go. Let's go 37 degrees to the north.
Sure.
Right.
We still have other things we can search out before we just start destroying this room. It is very likely the point of contact of what's going on here, but there may be somebody else that knows something. We still need to speak to the constable, his mage friend, the C member in jail, and the wife of the professor.
Well, she's gonna
I
be
wonder if
further away.
the thing that chases you in your dream, if they were to catch you, you transform into that item.
So a bunch of people transformed into a woman.
Wait.
Where's Chair Boy? Let's knock him out and see if we can get him to go to sleep.
You're gonna knock out a kid to see if he turns into a chair. I am not okay.
Look, my
I'm
method's
not
best.
okay with that either.
I
It's
feel
hitting
like you're
result.
saying we should go sleep with children
Oh
and
No,
God!
we
watch
Oh
should
them,
knock children
God!
out.
or we
We
should
should.
go watch children sleep.
Wow,
This
wow,
even that sounds bad.
that went south real quick.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
Uh,
no,
I'm
Not
I'm
to
no.
mention, those
losing
people are
power.
young men. They're almost 18.
Yes. Hmm.
But still
Or
not
We
legal.
could
children,
try
but
to
still
Still,
not
observe
right.
them at
still
night,
not
though.
legal. Still children. Let's just go
Get
ahead
one
and
of
make
them
that
to allow
clear.
themselves to be captured as we watch, just to see if something happens.
We just strap them all down to the beds, close the door, walk
I
back out in the
don't.
morning, and see if anybody's a chair. We're
I
done.
I feel
No!
more comfortable about
No!
the I feel more comfortable about the plan of
Sleeping with
me
children?
hopefully no with me hopefully having these dreams
Oh,
now that I
okay.
have these items and then me get captured and then y'all see if I turn into some type of weird chicken or
Oh,
something.
so we need Mo to go to sleep. All right, Winky, smack him in the head with a hammer.
Wait, what?
G- I'm gonna
Boom.
hit Needip with my hammer.
Oh.
I'd like to duck and let it hit a car. I'll take the hit if it doesn't work, but that's how I'd like to set this up if possible.
I'm actually okay with whatever happens with this scenario because I like it. I, li-
I think that's how it works.
What do you mean? I did a reflex save,
Oh,
yeah.
It doesn't matter though. He beat your armor class.
so he hit me. Okay,
No! That's how armor class works.
yeah, that's
I
true.
told you that's not
Is
how it
it more
works.
than 10?
No,
No, it was a barely hit.
Okay.
like hit by like one or two. I'll take my damage.
But does he get knocked out?
Yeah, do I get knocked out? That's a good question.
All right, you take 28 damage.
Oh, Eve just left. She is just gone.
She's like, I'm done. I'm done.
All
This
right,
is
you are
crazy.
not knocked out, but you are fairly surprised by that.
So when you go to the strike button, you can now drop and sheath your weapon.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. All right, Winky. Now that you busted the dep up, do you want to try to heal him?
Nah,
You're always trying to heal.
Yeah, maybe you'll actually knock me out this time.
Trying to heal him.
he needs.
Like give way too like the medicine is way too difficult, way too hard. Like you're just
The cadet is currently wondering what the heck is going on because the small guy just pulled out a giant hammer and hit the other small guy. After the other small guy was recommending they hit another guy in the head.
Needip needed to get some sense knocked into him.
All right, what do y'all do now that y'all finished beating on each other?
Um,
Constable.
Well,
Yeah.
my initial thought was to check the palisade for any type of climbing over or anything like that, because I would assume that palisade is basically core wood that has bark still on it, and they just made a point and a base.
Yes.
So
The
when we
walls are
first,
solid from dirt to sky.
yeah, what I was my initial thought when we came to the barracks the first time was to check to see if there was any scrapes or scratches on trying to clamber over the palisade or anything like that from the inside.
Okay.
But the transmutation magic made me second guess that thought. But I would also like to check that as well.
All right. When y'all head to the exit of the barracks, you notice that it is raining torrentially.
Fantastic. That makes tracking so much more difficult.
All right. So you're going to make a tracking check?
Survival, correct?
Yes.
I'm gonna throw in my tracker's goggles. See what I get.
Okay. A car, you can tell, even with the rain, that a lot of people come from this building to the wall and follow around it. But there's only one set of tracks that go from this wall in a specific direction that you can tell is not what looks like the tracks of the guards patrolling the wall. Because the tracks are in a sideways motion, like they're walking sideways, which you would equate to someone sneaking.
Yes, I want to follow that. I'm gonna lock into that.
Okay? You follow that to where they just suddenly end.
No wall, no nothing, just open ground, just disappear.
About 3 to 4 feet from the wall, and they just stop.
Anybody
Hmm.
want a chance to step into that?
I want to relay that information. Like it's like they were sneaking to the wall and then just gone. I've never tracked something like this before.
I'll check it out with detect magic.
Okay? You detect magic, and you do not detect anything other than the braziers they're using have been enchanted to prevent them from being blown out from the wind and the water.
Okay.
That sucked. Sorry, my food fell on my foot.
You can't stop dropping food, can you?
What else do you do?
Well, even though that the trail stopped from the wall, is there a way to get on top of the wall?
Make a
Like, is
perception.
there? Dang, rolls have been
Okay.
bad tonight.
Your best guess, it looks like there may be the tree used in a section of the wall right here has almost like half of a stub branch almost coming out of it, like there's a hollow stump. And it looks like it may be just the right distance to jump from where you're standing and grab onto that chunk of the wall.
Definitely doing that.
And that would get you about 5 feet off the ground, and you'd only be one or two hands from getting on top of the fence.
Yeah, I'm going to follow that. Absolutely.
All right, so you make an athletics check to jump.
Oop, click the wrong one.
All right, you manage to jump and grab your hand into that little knot, and it is definitely good enough to hold you. And you can actually pull yourself up to the point where you can put your hand at the top and then pull yourself up enough to put your foot into that same spot. And your guess, with enough practice, probably someone can do it in one fluid movement.
That would avoid scratches and damages on the wall. Yes. I want to continue over and look at the top of the wall and then follow where I would assume that something would jump off the wall from that area or climb down. I want to look at that.
The rain has washed away just about anything on the other side of the wall because the snow and bits there have turned to slush as everything melts
Ah.
because of the coming of spring.
Okay. Well, I want to, as I'm at the top of the wall, since I'm looking down and I can't see anything from the top of the wall, I want to look out from where I'm at of potential areas that someone would head to for quick cover. Because I'm
Yeah,
assuming that this is pretty close to the middle point between the braziers, which
it
means
is.
the lowest light possible.
Yep.
So I want to look out as the quickest point of cover, knowing stealth.
All right. You see a selection of scrub brush that have pooled together in a little area about 10 feet from the wall in the northern direction.
All right, I want to relay this information to everyone. If they want to head that way, because I'm going to start heading that direction and using my abilities to try to figure out the best route to stealth away from the academy.
Do you want us to come over the wall?
You don't have to jump up over the wall if you don't want. You can walk around. It might take a minute, but if you'd
Um,
like to try it,
I start walking because I'm not doing that.
I could. We could
I
toss
don't want to
you.
leave. I don't want to leave this point because I don't want to leave the perceived trail. It's
All right. Well, let's split the party. I'll hop over with a car.
and I'm gonna go ahead and jump over and start heading towards that shrubbery.
Okay. So the rest of you walk around.
Might as well.
All right. It takes y'all about 10 minutes to walk around, and you find a car and core sitting there looking at some bushes.
I want to check the ground underneath the bushes since yes, it is raining and it's raining heavily. However, underneath canopies and growth and things of that nature, you can find subtle tracks,
All
and I
right.
want to see if they're.
Small lockbox type box with no lock on it.
Yeah, I want to open that up and see what it is.
All right. Inside of it are multiple little trinkets from different places in the school.
Would we be able to identify what they are other than just trinkets?
Basically, it's the equivalent of like a thing that was on a teacher's desk or a thing that was in a student's possessions.
Ah, perfect for the school of stealth for those
Yeah, based on
underneath.
what you've seen, your guess is this was a challenge to
Mm,
break into the school, take something, and get out without being seen.
yes.
And Core, now that you've seen this, you did notice there was one section of the letter from Eric that the only thing you didn't really understand 100% until seeing this was congratulating him on finishing the special training.
Relayed that all on. Take it this would be the special training.
This class A and B squad looked like they were trained heavily on stealth infiltration.
Okay. So they were built to disappear.
Does it look like B squad, those that were left, see any signs that maybe they were actually leaving that area without people knowing?
As they were locked in that room together.
Yeah.
You never looked for that, but you could go back and look for it.
I would mention that to the group as something I'm concerned about now. With skills like this, training like this, it's entirely possible that they could be putting up fronts.
Hmm. I do, before we leave the shrubbery, I want to look around and see anything of note from this area. As yes, this may be where they kept their trinkets, but since this is a practice path, they
You
used this path to move forward.
you find a piece of paper hidden underneath the false bottom in that same box.
Can I read it?
Nope, it's in that same script.
I want to hand this to Core. There's another one that we need to decipher.
Um, you guys providing some cover from the rain, or we can wait until we get inside.
Agreed. It's pouring out here.
Yeah.
I would think that I would basically like hold it underneath my hand and like hand it out to you so to protect it as much as
Yeah,
possible.
we'll keep it dry till we get to a dry area.
Mm.
All right, y'all go back into the school now.
Do you want to go to school or do you want to go to town?
Is there any way we can at least walk by where they were locked up just to see if there's any kind of signs of them getting out?
You'd have to go all the way back into the school and check around that building.
Mm.
I just didn't know if that was on the way. That's all. If it's not on the way, then we're not going to
The
worry about it.
entrance is on the way, but the rest of the school is not. Not unless there's a way for you to climb over the wall from this side.
Are you concerned about the students, or I mean, even if they're
Just,
sneaking out, what is the harm?
it was just confirming the theory, and also they are the only ones left. Why is that?
Imagine they're running. Well, that's interesting. I feel like we need to gather more information. I don't know what else or how much else we could get for them from the students.
I'm okay with going through the constable.
Okay.
Okay, so you head to town.
Yes.
All right. It takes you a little bit to walk around the school and get to the town itself, but you finally make it to the constable's, one of the constable's office, which is right there. And there's several constables, and some of them you can tell just by their stance that they are former cadets. And there's a very large, very surly man at the entrance. Yes, can I help you?
Yes, we're investigating the disappearances of the students from the academy. Per
Uh,
per the headmaster.
all right. What do you need me for?
Well, looking to get to the jail, and also if you had any information at all. Did you
Don't
go?
Are
be
you
vague. Open.
are
I have lots of information. I don't know if any would be useful to you, but yeah, the jail. I can help you with that. Are you looking for the student or someone else?
Well, the student. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you had much contact with him?
No, that one's a bit of a nut.
Yeah. So what we're hearing.
What he did to his family. Can't believe it's the third time something that's happened to someone
Really, it's happened quite often in this city.
this winter.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then we've got several families that just vanished, but we assume they went
Interesting.
out into the cold and never came back.
Hmm.
are you the constable?
I am a constable.
You have several. Okay.
Yes. We do have
Um,
a chief constable, but he's in the central office.
thing of note, after we speak with the student, we probably should speak with the other two individuals that this sort of thing has happened to.
Are they all together? Are all three of the people who killed their families in this jail?
No, one of them's already been executed, and the other one is on death row.
Core will interrogate the one who is dead.
The one who is dead.
I'm saying that as a
A
joke.
car? Wouldn't a car be the better one to? With this,
No, it's because you like to speak to dead things.
I do. Oh, I get it. Ah ha ha. Ah ha ha. Minotaur jokes.
Technically, it's a multifaceted joke because you
That's
speak
true.
to dead fire titan and
It's true.
the
The Lich King
lich
of the
warlord.
world
Well, that's true. It is. It does actually work.
works on many levels.
But we would at
Okay.
Thanks
least
for
like.
creeping me out. I had never thought about that.
But I really want to ask the queen a question. It's just ahead.
All right. The guy takes you to the jail, and you see the cadet in one corner, and he is looks freaked out as heck.
Um,
Maybe one of you should
And he's in a cell that normally would have 4 or 5 people, but he's in there all by himself.
um core. Maybe you should take this one. I think you
okay.
are the best with conversation.
Crazy people?
I walk in there and slap
No,
him. Answer my questions.
You don't talk about my wife.
that's not what I was talking about. That's not what I was.
Okay.
Oh,
Cadet. What happened, Cadet?
he's just muttering to himself right now.
Who's the strange lady, Cadet?
She did it. She did it. She's been chasing after me. She caught me. She did this. She
Is it a dream,
won't
Cadet?
leave me alone. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I see her when I'm awake.
What she look like?
The most beautiful lady I've ever seen.
Um.
We able to hear the conversation, or are we too
Oh
far away?
yeah, sure.
Y'all can hear him. The cell's pretty large, even though he's in there by himself, so it does make a pretty good echo, and you can hear pretty well.
Where's the lady?
I haven't seen her in weeks. She finally left me alone.
Where did you
Was
first see
she,
her? Was she in the academy? Was she in the town? Where did you first see her?
When did I first see her? In my dreams.
In your dreams. In your dreams. Was it a chair or
what?
just a lady?
A chair? What?
It's always been the lady.
Yes.
No villainous chair.
What
Gosh,
do
you
you
have
know
just.
about chairs?
When a crazy person looks at you like you're crazy, you have to begin to wonder what's going on.
This is.
Am I
Well, I thought we had to. I thought we were on the wavelength. You know.
You were until you brought up
He's
chairs.
mirroring
What did?
his verbal cues. That's what he.
What is the lady doing? Is she chasing you? What did she do after she caught you?
I don't remember.
What? Why did you kill your family?
I didn't.
You didn't kill your family. You didn't kill your family.
No,
Was it the same night that the lady caught you?
I don't remember. I don't even remember anything. They said they saw me walking into the campus, but I don't remember that.
So you were in the academy when. So you remember being in the academy, and then you remember being back in the academy.
They said I walked into the academy from the outside, but I don't remember that.
Hmm.
I walked right up the front door and ignored everyone and went to my room.
Okay. Okay. Do you know the ones that went missing? Did they go
Yes,
missing? Were they having dreams?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Nobody talks about that kind of stuff.
Did she
And if
look
anyone was
human?
dreaming about a lady, it usually wasn't anything you'd want to tell anyone else about nicely.
Hmm.
I know that. Yeah.
Um. All right.
And he is not rocking back and forth as hardly now,
Hmm.
but
So
he still has the crazed look in his eyes.
yes.
Um, I think Winky has been possessed. He's now rocking.
He's channeling the cadet.
Is it looking at this person, are we seeing crazy or traumatized? What would be a better
You're
what would be
seeing a bit of both.
well, if you were told everything this guy's told, crazy would begin to slip
You
in,
can
yes.
see that his hands are bloody.
Can you see it was? Does it look like he's been trying to dig or punch or? Can you try to see what he was
You
doing?
can make a protection.
This has been going so well tonight. Let's see. A 6. Okay.
All right. You do not see any signs of digging or anything like that, but you do see that there are some blood splatters in the cell.
Hmm. Eve, he appears to be hurt, Eve. Um, so to the group, this might be bigger than just the academy. Um, if there's multiple things going on, multiple families going through killings, we should probably try to asking the constable if there's been. Well, yeah, there's been families. He said that there's other families that have gone missing.
It said 3 families have been killed and other people have gone missing.
Mhm.
So what was it?
With this knowledge, do you want to talk to the person on death row that also killed their family?
Did they say that person was
If they're
here?
here. If they're here.
The one person on death row is here.
Yeah, if we
The third person is already executed for his crimes.
yeah, if we can talk to that person as well.
All right, they take you to the cell, but they tell you to be careful. This man is dangerous.
I walk in and slap him.
I want to chuckle and say, we're all a little bit dangerous.
You guys
They
have
take you to the cell,
horrible social skills.
and when you open the door, you see probably the scrawniest 16, 17-year-old boy you've ever seen.
Uh,
But
Constable,
he has manacles tying his hands behind his back.
Constable, have the ones that have been killing the family, have they all been teenagers?
Young boys, yeah.
Okay, okay. And they all killed their fam. Okay. Um,
Out of out of all the families that have gone missing, do they also have teenage um, offspring?
Every one of them, yeah.
Interesting.
all right, um to the prisoner. Um, what's your side of this story?
He looks at you and tries to lunge forward, trying to gnaw at you with his teeth.
Interesting. Um, are you awake right now?
He's chained to the wall and growling now.
It's getting a bit feral. Um,
Guys, this looks a lot like those people that were in Orm
Does it?
that lost their minds.
hmm, just went insane. Uh,
Then suddenly he stops and just stands there rocking back and forth.
God, what was his story? Was he more coherent when you first brought him in? Has he slowly been
Yeah,
slipping?
he's a lot like the other one.
Hmm. Did he make
Over the last week, he's just gotten more and more comatose.
Did he ever complain of dreams or
Nightmares.
nightmares or sleeping bad? Do you look like he was um, labored in his
Last
sleeps?
we heard, we put a man in his cell to see if we could hear anything about him saying anything, and he beat the man to death at night.
Hmm.
At night would make sense, though.
I'm assuming that's why he's currently chained to the wall.
Correct. And that's why the other one's in a cell alone. He's almost killed two cellmates.
Have all of these attacks happened at night?
Yeah,
I'd be very careful about putting them into uh, death sentences. There's something going on in your city that cannot be explained at this moment.
There's from the investigation so far, something is in intruding into their dreams and warping them.
The individual that was sentenced to death, what did you do with his remains?
burned him.
Ah,
Hmm.
We don't bury murderers.
Atala, I think you might have a point with the
Slug?
your comment on the death sentence prompted me to think about what if they were to come back from death, like the people of Orm.
I understand your concern. I just don't have that same feeling about this. I feel like there is an entity behind this, not while yes, there was an entity behind what was occurring in Orm, this is different. This is something plaguing them, almost something demonic, or I'm not quite positive yet, but I do not think that they are away from death. That's just a theory at the moment.
Oh, all right.
Charles, would I have any sense from my faith and things of that nature about this that could help me?
No, you're not
Okay,
feeling anything. Nothing feels out of sorts.
right, okay.
I guess I'm gonna try asking the prisoner one last time while he's calmer. Are you dreaming? What is chasing you?
He looks at you, and you can see there's terror in his eyes. He turns and runs into the bars as head on as fast as he can.
Eve,
And he's down.
Eve, he seems to have injured himself. This one's injured as well.
He is completely unconscious because he ran face first into the bars as hard as he could.
Hmm. So that definitely triggered something, asking about his dreams and being chased.
Clearly he is it's that. Stay away from the prisoners at night. Although stay away from them anytime they are asleep or unconscious as well.
All right, you managed to heal him, and he's just sleeping now because he's unconscious.
So did night fall?
No, it's middle of the day.
Okay. We just need to make sure we get back to the academy. We Those four boys don't need to be sleeping with each other or in the same room with each other if they're all being chased.
And there's six boys.
It's
The
six of them.
six of them.
Four of them acts right. Two of them
Yeah.
don't. One of them's very timid. The other one's very
Yeah.
confrontational.
I think if just one of them gets caught, I think that's the trigger. When they get caught by whatever it is, um, it's not just a lady. I think that was just this one individual's representation. If they're all seeing different things,
Most of them are seeing ladies.
I thought they all said they saw different things, like a chair and different.
There were more people seeing ladies than seeing other things,
There.
but
Okay.
they are seeing different things. But the lady is the most common.
Okay. Maybe if we go see the mages, they have experimented on a lady that's sitting in a chair.
Be that easy.
Core has figured it out.
All right. You're not far from Mage Town.
I thought you were saying I'm not far off. um,
Let's go speak with Ruben's friend.
All right. It takes you an hour to get to Mage Town,
Huh?
and you're over here at Mage Town, and near this tree, there's a bit of a courtyard type area with some information placed up. That's where the constable pointed you to when you said you were going there.
They have a fun little singing kiosk like some kingdoms do.
No, but you
Like
do
do
see
like
are,
Dulon?
there are booths set up there for people to come to and talk to mages that are standing waiting for people. You can see some old ladies, some old men, some young mages, people that look obviously like mages, people that don't. A couple people just look like homeless people sitting there waiting.
This place is weird. uh, what does the information at the tree state?
It's lots of basically there's little bitty signs on the tree pointing to different mage houses with different names.
Anyone that says Ruben's friend, the mage.
You find one that points you to the name of the Reuben's friend.
Okay. Let's go there.
All right. You follow the direction. It takes you a while, and you find basically a low building with probably 4 or 5 almost hovels in one building, and one of them has the name on the wall by the door.
Let's head in.
Okay, you go inside.
I mean, we're gonna knock.
Okay, you go to knock, and the door creaks open on its own.
Magic is fun.
No, you knock, and it starts
That's
opening a little bit.
did he have a?
unlocked doors is worrisome. Any traps?
Make a
Look
check.
like they've been set off or anything. Ah, that was lockpicking, but it's okay.
You can tell this door did have a trap on it, but it does not currently.
And so it got set off.
Yes, it's your guess.
Be careful, everyone. This trap here was set off. Whoever came in was not welcome.
And you can tell from the looking at it that someone just simply kicked the door and broke the lock.
Okay, I'll share that.
So you can tell that there was a trap here. Can you tell what kind of trap?
It was a taco trap.
No, he can't tell what kind of trap. Whatever happened and is no longer there anymore.
Taco trap.
Nacho trap.
What do you do?
That's after the taco trap gets eaten. Want to very carefully go in, open the door, see what we see. Slowly open it, trying to not make sound.
It's
All
a
right.
cliffhanger for next week's episode.
You go into the room and look around, and it is obvious that this room has been messed up pretty badly. There is a couple of chairs and a table in one area that your guess is where he would sit to either do business or eat food. And the table is broken and the chairs are smashed to the side. And then there is a mess all over the room. It looks like a struggle occurred in here.
Do any of the chairs look like what the kid was dreaming about?
You don't know because he didn't describe what the chair looked like.
Look, Hatala, it's a chair.
That must have been what it
It's
is. That's
fine.
what that kid's dreaming. We should take this chair to see if he
we
freaks out.
bring the chair back. We found this. No.
Use Mage Hand to move it in there.
Oh.
Whoa!
Like to do a perception check to see if a lady has sit in this chair before?
Does the butt print in the chair look like a lady's?
Oh my god.
Okay, so we do want to look around. I am curious to see if there's any ciphers or things of that nature here. Maybe this is who he was in
That's
contact
great.
with.
Do it again,
Like
Winky. Raise
I,
your hand again.
I'm, I can. Yeah. My hammer sense is bringing me to the back of the room.
Hammer sense.
That's cool, but still raise your arm again.
Why?
It was an awesome picture. I just missed it by like half a second.
Okay.
Looked like you were scratching Will's head. No, you ruined it. I can't get you to do it right.
All right.
Continue.
So what do y'all do?
Is it a wall?
It's leading you towards a wall. Yes.
I break the wall.
Oh God, no!
You said
Wait.
it.
Alright,
That's the-
so how much is the wall gonna
Yeah,
cost, guys?
what do we
Wait,
got
wait,
in that
wait,
pot
wait,
yet?
wait. I paused.
The pot of money that we talked about we were going to need to be able to fix all the things you break.
I honestly, I think
How
this
much
wall
do
was
walls
broken when we
cost?
got here. It was part of the
We could
ransack.
Do we see him pulling his hammer back? Can we stop
I,
this?
I,
We
I
should all roll
stopped myself.
perception
I
checks.
didn't. I
They're
draw the
horrible.
weapon, but I stopped myself from breaking
Okay,
it.
so
Yeah.
you stopped.
Winky
Okay.
pulls out his hammer and he's like,
You're like, whoa, wait. Oh, yeah.
Street Fighter.
I'm still interested in seeing if there's a cipher anywhere, but at the moment, I'm definitely concerned about what's happening in the back of the room. Winky, you okay?
Yeah.
What's going on?
There's a doorway over here.
So your first thought was hit it with the hammer.
Can I use
Yeah.
ventriloquism to whisper in Winky's ear to swing the hammer?
Can I
Like I'm
roll
his
to
conscience.
resist that?
you can try, but again, it's an obvious thing when you're casting a spell like that.
Can I stand in the corner, the opposite corner?
It's
Yes.
like 10
Nita
minutes
hiding in the
rolls.
corner going,
Can I try to resist that if I feel like he's trying to do it?
whispering in your ear doesn't mean you would do it anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless you just have really weak conscience. Oh, somebody whispered in my ear to do it. I'm gonna
So
do
what
it.
do you do?
Oh, I'm gonna look in the room with some engineering.
I'm gonna feel around the wall that I sense the door.
Okay. Okay, Hatala, you are trying to analyze the room and figure out where the door is, and you're kind of going around and touching a little bit, and you stick your hand in a thing, and all of a sudden a trap is set off,
Oh, great.
and
Oh God.
Hopefully this isn't your other hand that's not hurt.
you take 6 fire damage as the tapestry on the wall bursts into flames, and as a fire trap went off. But you found the door,
As I found it.
and it no longer has a trap.
And Winky reads says, "Hey, I found it." Well, Tall is on fire. Hey, there it is.
This is nothing that hasn't happened before.
Can I check if the door's locked?
It is locked.
I can't break this one, can I?
Well, we've got at least 2 people here who can try to unlock it
I mean, wizards have
before you
mend.
start
They
beating
could.
it.
Do you want me to try first, Hatala, since you got caught
Yeah,
on fire?
I'm a little singed right now. Give me a second to
All right,
recuperate.
And
If you don't get it,
I'll try to see if I can unlock this here door.
And if you can't unlock it, I can just break the door handle.
All right, you managed to pick the lock fairly easily. It's not a high quality lock.
All right.
I'm gonna open the door.
Cool, I got it. You don't have to ever touch this door again,
Well,
Hatala.
he
I
already
know
said it, so he did it. You're sitting there going, and he goes, okay. The door opens up, and a car, while you're down at the ground where you're picking the lock, you are face to face with a dead human.
Oh, hey! I found a human dead. So, yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm
Does it
just gonna
look like a
back up.
wizard or like
I'm gonna back up slowly and be like, "Yeah, go ahead, take a look." Yeah,
I thought you were the
He
dead
is
guy.
wearing robes.
he's
What was that?
wearing gold
No, robes.
robes. Yeah, he's got robes on, as much as I can tell.
The only thing you can tell is he has had the crud beaten out of him.
He's looking a little worse for wear. I mean, he is dead. So,
So
but
somebody got into his
before
secret
he was
room,
dead,
beat the crap out of him, locked his secret room, and left. And they did not set off this fire trap.
Well,
and
based on the
and
room,
in
the fight actually started outside the room because
so
the key busted up.
they were able to beat him up, unlock the room, disarm the trap, unlock the room, put him in the room, shut the
They
door, and
they
then
didn't
rearm the trap.
they didn't disarm this trap because they didn't disarm the last trap. They wouldn't have done that. He probably opened the door
Ah,
Do you want to
to get
talk
away.
to him?
What?
Do you want to talk to him?
Core's that? Core's the one that does that.
yeah, Core talks to the dead.
Yeah,
Let's
Well,
talk to him
do
and
you
talk to
want
them.
to? I can give it you 3 questions.
3 questions.
Oh, that's right.
Don't
All right,
slap him this time, Core.
we're going to stop right here.
GM needs time to prepare.
What 3 questions? Now we have a whole week to figure out
All
what
right,
three
that
questions.
sounds great. All right, folks. It's been fun. Join us next week. We try to do this starting at 6 on Saturdays. So, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you later. Bye,
All
everyone.
Bye.
right.
See ya.